Castillo of Ecuador. First couple of fights we saw him up on his toes, a lot of movement. Against Castillo he just slowed things down. Still moves well, still got those good feet. Kept Castillo moving, kept him turning, but had a good base to punch off as well. Throws a nice jab. Italian national champion this year. Sanjeet of India, Asian champion this year, as well as national champion. So he's having a good year. Wins against Andrei Stotsky of Russia, and then a real good win, I thought, against Georgi Chikladze of Georgia. The Georgian looks to really bring it to you. Get onto the inside, set his feet, and then just murder you with big hooks. And Sanjeet was too cute for him, he was too clever for him. Again, same kind of approach as MOUHIIDINE had against Castillo. Kept Chikladze moving and turning. Popped him from the outside. And when they had a little wrestle on the inside, just showed him that he wasn't going to be bullied. So this should be a good fight, I think. MOUHIIDINE of Italy in the red, Sanjeet, India in the blue. Touch of gloves and away we go. Emerson Pastor of Guatemala is our referee. MOUHIIDINE's a southpaw. Sanjeet, an orthodox fighter. Trying to land that jab early on there, MOUHIIDINE. Hooking on the move. Sanjeet just feinting with that front foot. That big overhand right there, Sanjeet. A minute down. Jab to the body there from MOUHIIDINE. Sanjeet's got to slow down this movement of MOUHIIDINE. As I said, the Italian is nimble, agile. Will look to get in and out with the jab, with the 1-2. Good upper body movement there. Into the final minute. It's been quite messy, this. A lot of movement from MOUHIIDINE. Those feet have quickened up a bit since the fight against Castillo. That's good work from Sanjeet. Just slipped underneath the hands there of MOUHIIDINE and moved off to his left. Sanjeet generally looks to try and keep things a little bit slower. Tries to throw punches from a more solid base. MOUHIIDINE, I think, scored a single shot to the body there, at least he thought so. Again, feinting with that front foot there, Sanjeet. Been a lot of that in the first round. Fighters just standing slightly off each other and bouncing on the balls of their feet. I'd say MOUHIIDINE has probably won that round because he landed the odd jab, but there wasn't much more in it than that. The challenge for Sanjeet here, as I say, is just slowing MOUHIIDINE down. The way to do it is just to try and land something on him, anything, whether he's hitting shoulders or the chest or the stomach or the gloves, the hip, whatever it is. He's got to try and commit a little bit more here, Sanjeet, I think, because MOUHIIDINE could do this all night. He's extremely fit, you can tell that, because he is up on his toes a lot of the time, and at 91 kilos to box like that, you've got to be in sensational shape. And he can do it for the 3 rounds comfortably because we've seen him. Went for the jab to the body there, Sanjeet. That's always a good plan. MOUHIIDINE, I think, probably did land on the inside there. Lets his hands go when he got up close. There was nothing really clean about anything he did there, but you just look at that upper body movement, you look at the feet, he's a blur of activity. He is difficult to get hold of. But I think there's quite a lot of flash and dash with MOUHIIDINE as well. I don't know how much of that in reality landed, but sitting at ringside, I'm on one side of the ring, the same side as one of the judges, just a little bit further back, but not that much further back that he should be able to see anything that I can't, and it's hard to tell. That's a good example. The combination there. But what you can see is that he's throwing plenty, some of which may or may not be getting through, and Sanjeet is hardly throwing anything by comparison. And the referee just telling them to engage a bit more here, and I can understand why he'd do that, because, as I say, there's a bit of smoke and mirrors about MOUHIIDINE. It's clever stuff, though. It's not a criticism. Right hand there from Sanjeet, and I'm not quite sure what that was from MOUHIIDINE as he came back into the centre of the ring. Sanjeet is losing this round, and he lost the first one with 4 out of 5 judges. So in the final minute here, he's got to try and take it to MOUHIIDINE. It doesn't matter if he misses and gets made to look a little bit foolish, because he's got to try and turn this round back in his favour. There was a nice jab there from MOUHIIDINE, landed it solid to the chin as he moved in. I'm pretty sure if it keeps going like this, when we get the scores at the end of the round, he's going to be well behind here, Sanjeet, to the point where he needs a massive final round and 10-8s. So he may as well just go for broke here in the final 30 seconds of round 2. He's almost trying to play MOUHIIDINE at his own game here, Sanjeet, but he's not quite got the... Well, he just doesn't have the same skill set. He doesn't have the same mobility and doesn't have the same hand speed. It's a strange approach. Single right hand there from Sanjeet, I think might have got through. Left hand from MOUHIIDINE, who literally runs across the ring at him. That'll be a MOUHIIDINE round, I'm absolutely convinced of it. There you go. There's just not really any other way you can score it, because all the activity is coming from him. As I said, it is hard to tell what's landing and what isn't. But when you're throwing as much as that and your opponent is barely throwing anything, and what he is throwing, you can see isn't really landing. I say barely throwing anything, that's not really fair, but he's throwing a lot less. And you can see that what he's throwing isn't landing most of the time, then there's only one way you can go. So MOUHIIDINE is touching distance away here from a World Championship semi-final. He boxed at the Worlds in 2019, but went out early. His best career result so far being a European under-22 gold medal in 2018. When it would have been 19 or 20, so that was a good result. Sanjeet falling short with the right hand there, and then MOUHIIDINE, I think, clipped him with a couple. He's not a heavy puncher, because a lot of the time he's He's throwing his punches on the move. He's not really set when he throws them. That's just part of his makeup. That's how he chooses to go about things. He's not going to really plant his feet onto the canvas and hit you hard. Sanjeet, a bit frustrated, I think. Took a little walk off to his right-hand side there, and there was a bit of a frown on his face, because he just hasn't really been able to do anything with MOUHIIDINE at all. Good shot that from MOUHIIDINE. Left hand right into the pit of the stomach. I think he might be quite an irritating opponent, MOUHIIDINE, as well, with the way he picks up his feet and half kind of runs after you, then stops still in front of you, and some of the extravagant movement. And the applause in the arena is for a Serbian fighter, Magomedov, I think, who's been in against Julio La Cruz. Referee just telling the two of them to engage. The clock is running down. Julio La Cruz through in the other ring, in ring 8. And he's looking for his 5th World Championship gold. The other 4 have all come at light heavyweight. He's up at heavyweight these days, won the gold medal at heavyweight in Tokyo. Sensational story. Became a 2-time Olympic champion, a 2-weight Olympic champion. As did Ronnie Iglesias, actually, the same Olympics, and as did Arlen Lopez. Andy Cruz picked one up too, so it's 4 for Cuba. It was a good games for them. So there goes the bell. He raises his gloves skywards there, Aziz Abbes MOUHIIDINE, as there is every reason that he should, because he's won that fight. And he will be guaranteed a bronze, guaranteed $25,000 US. And he's absolutely delighted. Sanjeet would have found that a very frustrating experience, I think.
It's now time for the concluding bout of the 17th session in ring A. Bout number 446.
And this must be a great feeling, knowing that you've won, just standing in the centre of the ring, waiting for confirmation of it. No nerves. You're just going to enjoy the moment. And he won't mind that this is being dragged out, because we're waiting for the introductions in ring A for their next fight, their final fight of the session. Unanimous decision. And it's almost a completely clean set of 10-9s. 14 out of 15 cards there are 10-9. Just that one round from the Moldovan judge going against him in the first round. It was a good performance. It was a really good performance. A lot of hard work goes into that, because he is in phenomenal physical shape. The speed, the reflexes, the speed of movement is difficult to cope with. So our final fight in Ring B before we have the day off tomorrow and then return with the semi-finals on Thursday. It's between Jamar Talley of the USA and Emmanuel Reyes of Spain, originally from Cuba. Talley, 21 years old, from New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey.